Hi, I'm Lee Rindner, and welcome to some interesting information about stress and anxiety. Years ago, I had an opportunity to have someone measure my brainwave activity, and it was fascinating information. What I'm about to share with you, I have never seen anywhere else. So this may be something very fresh and new, although I experienced it in 1973. The human brain goes through 4 different levels of brainwave activity. The conscious level is called the beta level of brainwave activity. Resonates somewhere between 14 and 30 cycles per second. When we begin to slow the brain down, we enter into the alpha level of brainwave activity, which can go from 13 or 14 cycles per second down to about 7 or 8 cycles per second. That's where you have intuition, creativity, memory, all at the same time. Oh, and creativity. When you slow the brain down even more, you enter the theta level of brainwave activity, which is pain control. Oftentimes people come to me with migraines or back problems, backaches or other aches, fibromyalgia. And as long as they've been through their doctor, their medical world, and we know that there's not a medical condition, I'm more than happy to help them eliminate the pain forever. The deepest level of brainwave activity is called delta. That's what we call being in a coma or comatose. So I'd like to show you these on a couple of different charts or graphs so you can get a very clear understanding of how you can literally release stress and anxiety for the rest of your life. Are you interested? Watch this. Here is a graph of brainwave activity. The conscious brain looks like this, is called the beta level of brainwave activity, and on this chart cycles between 13 and 30 cycles per second. You have reason, logic, and choice. Would you like vanilla or chocolate? A little of both, half and half, or maybe take a rain check. This is alpha. Intuition, creativity, imagination, and memory. Very important. The brain here goes from 8 to 13 cycles per second. Next is theta. This is pain control, and the brain slows down even more. We call that lasering. Your brain really focuses between 4 and 7 thoughts per second. And down here is delta, and the brain goes from barely a half a thought per second up to a whopping 4 thoughts per second. Now, here is a chart that I first learned in 1973. A little more colorful. This particular chart shows that the beta level of brainwave activity cycles between 14 and 21 cycles per second. On the previous chart, the brain cycles between 13 and 30. Now that's a huge discrepancy. Over here the alpha goes from 7 to 14, and on the previous chart it went from 8 to 13. Now that's pretty similar. Here in theta the brain goes from 3.5 to 7, and on the other chart it goes from 4 to 7. Pretty close. Down here, delta is 1/4 of a thought per second to 3.5, and on the other, 1/2 to 4. Again, very, very similar. So, let's go back up here. The fastest the human brain can go and still maintain a feeling of calm, a feeling of being in control, and isn't that what we all like a feeling of? Is just under 21 thoughts per second. As soon as the human brain hits 21, we have words for this: stress, anxiety, pressure, out of control, I've lost it, whatever it happens to be. So, the brain can only really handle under 21 thoughts per second and feel calm and confident. All right? Now, if your brain ever goes all the way up to 30 thoughts per second, like we showed on the previous chart or graph, you are dead. So, when the brain hits 21 and starts going higher, the subconscious mind goes, I gotta do something to get my brain to slow down. For some people, they go to their doctor and get prescriptions to slow their brain down. Other people use non-prescriptions, things like alcohol or other substances. Some people practice things like hypnosis. Now there's a great idea. Or NLP, perhaps meditation, maybe Tai Chi or yoga, maybe even working out. All of those things can assist in slowing the brain down. Now, when the brain comes all the way down on this chart to 14 thoughts per second, it's as if you're walking this line. You have reason, logic, and choice, and creativity, intuition, memory, well, those are three good enough ones, but creativity, memory, intuition, feelings and emotions, all at the same time. It's a feeling of, we call it in English, the zone. I'm in the zone. I'm in flow. I'm in autopilot. It's just working. You get the perfect parking place. You go into a place to pick up an item. It's your size. There's only one left, your color, and it's on sale. Now, this is a great way to live. And we've all been there at times. You think of a person, the phone rings, and it's that person. How did you do that? Well, you slowed your brain down, so you tuned in to your other than conscious mind while you were still conscious. This is awesome. This is where we all want to live and be. So, let's get back to this topic called stress and anxiety. What is it? In plain English, it's your brain going faster than it can handle. So, what causes the human brain to go too fast? One thing is substances. And it's pretty obvious for some people that too much caffeine can cause the brain to go too fast. And understand that there is ample documentation that a certain amount of caffeine can give a human being value. So, being out of control with caffeine, like somebody I know who's had caffeine poisoning twice in his life, that's not a fun thing. So, too much caffeine, too much refined sugar will push the brain too fast. Be careful with those two substances.